Today we're bringing back the long-awaited Rating Fan Games series, and we're going to be checking out 4 games today because it's been a long time, and doing just one, well, probably not the best. The first game we're going to hop into is called Orb Processing Tycoon, and that's kind of a long name. Now, if I could say anything about this game as we're getting started, this has to be one of the most satisfying games we played in today's video. The collection feature just, perfection. I think the entire game has a lot of potential, but it does need to be brightened up by a long shot. The game's got a very fun setting, but very dark atmosphere. I'd say there's pretty much no atmosphere in the entire game. There's also no options to merge droppers, and there should be at least 3 options to buy droppers for Robux. Most of the games like this do include these things, so just tossing out a couple pointers. Not only would merging speed up the game and make players want to play a bit more, adding in droppers for Robux will help you earn a little bit of money and keep you motivated on your dev journey as well. Now, speaking of droppers and players, I think it'd be so cool to add variation in the ores that are dropped. You could do this with different meshes, particles, shapes, maybe point lights, sizes of ores, literally anything. Just something to make the better ores feel like better ores instead of just changing the color. Now, in the center of your map, there's an obby, which is always a great idea, but the fact that you have to work to get up the obby and then it's a group chest, it's kind of just strange. It might make players feel like they just worked and then they have to work again to actually get the reward. I would put the group chest on the ground so people know what it is, and then a daily chest or some sort of a reward chest at the top of the obstacle course. Overall, for Orb Processing Tycoon, I'd give it a 5 out of 10. It's very satisfying to play. If you enhance the atmosphere and the lighting, maybe the ores, and add that little box to visually show the player where to stand to engage the pickup section, the idea is good. I'd say visually help out the game, and I would definitely raise the score. Let's move on to our next game, Ball of Rage Obby. Off the bat, the game never told me that we're going to be a bouncing ball. Felt like I jumped into an almost overwhelming game to play. It's pretty nauseating at times to try to play through all the movements happening on the screen, and definitely the bounce kills the whole game for me. I gotta give this game a 1 out of 10, only because of the movement. The theme overall has a lot of potential, I think. Maybe make the bouncing ball an option for an extra challenge to players who have already beat the game, or even change the name of the game to let players know that they will be bouncing. But if it was my game, I would remove the bounce entirely and just have the roll. I think the game would be a lot more fun to play and still offer the rage that you're looking for based off your title. So great game, and you would definitely get quite a better score if the bouncing was not a thing. It did make the game feel pretty unplayable. Now, just like that, guys, in the blink of an eye, we have the Flash, Multiverse Mayhem. I gotta start this one off and say I think the game might still be in development. There are parts where you could see some development secrets, like future bosses and so on. With this in mind, the map feels a bit dead. There's plenty of color and light, but there's no life to occupy any space. There's also this really dreary, dark vibe on the map. It makes you feel almost like tired to play it. If it was my game, I'd give the players a bit more light and sunshine outside, and the toolbar at the bottom of the screen should be an actual toolbar where you can use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, anything on your keyboard to access these tools, but you have to click on them, which is kind of strange. Some of them were cool, and some of them seem to not work at all. At the moment, this game also lacks direction. There's stores and places to go into, but I don't really know what I'm supposed to do when I go to them. Now, again, I do think this game is still in development. Overall, I can't really rate this game comfortably. I think it would have a massive amount of potential if they finish it up because the VFX does look pretty cool right now. But for the moment, I don't know what to do or where to go. I would love to see it continued and maybe revisit it when it's completed. Now, guys, the last game on our list, Charisma Simulator, aka Riz Simulator, okay? I love this idea so much, and we're gonna get more into that towards the end. We visited this game briefly in my 24-hour live stream about 2 weeks ago, and I think I should mention that. To start off, the map is not the best, personally speaking. I really enjoy the lighting, and I am a bit torn if it's meant to feel low effort. It works for the theme of the meme, you know? I understand the map and play if it is to feel low quality for a quick cash grab on a trend, and since the last time I've played this, the developer has listened. Previously, whenever you would do the dab to make the ladies faint from your epic riz, you would stop moving, so it was very inconvenient and it just wasn't fun to play. But they did change that, so it's cool to see the devs that are listening. As far as the gameplay, it's slow. Progression and balancing need a bit of work overall, and it would be cool to visually know that you're enhancing your riz, like hats, more glow, particles, unique pets, literally anything. It would make the player feel more special and more satisfied. I would would also add a finish or completed button to the quests so they're easier to claim and you don't have to walk back to the spawn. Now, overall, I would give this game a 5 out of 10. I genuinely wish I came up with the idea first, and if the devs ever got bored of this game, I would be more than happy to take it over. It's fun, it's trendy, and it would need a bit of work on the balancing side and some visual upgrades, but I do think there's a massive amount of potential for it to take off. And once again, I genuinely wish I came up with this one first. So to wrap this one up with these 4 games, number 1 on my list is definitely Riz Sim. I do know it's pretty much a meme, but I just love it so much. It has a special place in my heart. My least favorite on the list has to be the ball bouncing obby, just because it didn't feel good at all, and there was nothing in the title or description that said I would be bouncing. So instantly my expectations of what the gameplay was gonna be was just like thrown out the window. And the other 2 games we checked out are in the middle of the list. The Orb Processing Tycoon was definitely cool, and with a bunch of visual updates, I do think that game could do a lot better. The collection system was very, very clean and satisfying, and that was probably the highlight of that game. Now, the superhero one always has a lot of potential on Roblox as long as you nail the VFX, but I do think that game was still in development, so it's hard to give it a good rating. Anyways, I think that's gonna wrap it up for today. If you did enjoy and you want to see more content like this, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Have a great day. Later.